Yo, welcome back to Boring. Joined here by Kamika and Ashley, known as Only Lambs.
Yes.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing really, really good. Give us a little background, Kamika.
I'm Kamika. I am a model and actress in the making, and I am going to school to be a psychiatrist. Ashley?
I'm Ashley.
You guys talk louder, please.
I'm Ashley.
Thank
Hello.
This is what I sound like. I'm a loud person and a good
That's
person.
the energy we need.
A Virgo.
I'm a Virgo and I have a couple of things in the work, but I'm not classifying myself as really anything. I just be doing cool shit.
Hot
Cool.
girl shit.
All right, yeah, that's sweet. So, Kamika,
Yes.
tell us what your passions are. So you said modeling.
Yes, modeling is a passion that I've been exploring more lately because I used to just do it as a hobby, but as of 2020, I have done 6 music videos and I just did one last week as well. So I'm doing better and getting more work. And I'd also like to dive into more acting, getting into commercials and TV shows is what I would like to do.
What's your definition of modeling?
My definition of modeling is being in front of a camera, capturing something else. You're portraying something else. You're portraying beauty, power, strength, any of that. That's modeling. Anybody can model, but to be a supermodel, you gotta work hard.
Is that the end goal? Is that the goal? One of the goals?
One of the goals, yeah. I'd like to be a mogul, so I want to do a lot of different things. Artist, painter, designer. I want to do all of those things. So that would definitely be one of the bags.
Where like that? What about you, Ashley?
Quite honestly, I have only recently started tapping into my more creative side, I guess. I've always like posted brands and clothing stuff like on my IG, but I'm more like actually looking for designers and stuff now. Like people have actually reached out to me as far as that goes. I have always loved music. If you know me, that's my ish. Like it's all I do. It's all I really care about. I'm actually working with this UK artist right now. Gonna send him some samples, so we'll see where that goes. So
That's
stay
good.
tuned. I'm gonna be in the studio next week, so
That's good.
we'll see.
That's exciting, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you guys known for? I guess I already asked you that. What are you known for?
Where?
So
Like here?
because you mentioned you mentioned like you have nothing going on at the moment. I try to remind the people, but if they look at the Instagram, like what do your close friends know you as?
Probably just a huge stoner.
Oh.
To be honest. Or just being funny. I honestly like most of the time, it's not even like my close friends, just like random people message me all the time saying like, I love the shit that you post, like you're so funny. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you very
Honestly,
much.
Yeah, your Instagram do be interesting. Do be a vibe.
She posts funny memes all
Yeah.
the time.
see
I
that all the
actually
time.
really wanted to be like a meme account at one
You
point, and I was
should
like,
have, because you always post one.
I know, but that's
on your story.
commitment to become a meme page,
If
and it'd
you
be
were
like
gonna-
super low key too.
You're gonna meme yourself,
No. I was gonna be like, like one of those like big meme pages, you know?
like the Quan.
Yeah, something like that, because I get all the most fire memes. Come on,
Oh, of course.
that was stupid.
My bad.
Okay.
That was stupid. Come on now.
Of course. What's the funniest meme you've seen? Come on, give us a sense of your humor.
Okay, this is
See if my audience can relate.
okay. I apologize for this right off the bat because somebody came at me for it, but I thought it was pretty funny. It was this meme, and it's like the life alert, like the lady, like help, I can't get up.
Mhm.
It was like it's like that lady. It's like help, and I'm white, and I can't shut up.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I remember when
This
you posted
guy
that earlier this week.
came at me for it, like came at like for my head about it, and I honestly was like, sit down, shut your mouth, and look back at the world and what's going on right now, and come back and tell me if I'm the wrong one. Which he
Mhm.
did. Which
That's
I was
fast.
like, bitch, unfollow me, and he still follows me.
What?
I know you want to see this.
Did you unfollow him?
Exactly. I
Yeah,
know
I
you
did.
want to see the socks.
I unfollowed him right after I told him to unfollow me, and he still follows me because I know you want to see this.
He probably just
Just
doesn't care.
No, he still watched all the shit.
You're black in this world of what's going on, what's your opinion on all that?
My opinion is that it's nothing new. Like, this isn't nothing new. It's something that is lived every day. If you're Black, then you know that since the day you were born, you felt different. You felt outcasted, alienated, systemically, in every way. That's how you feel. So I personally think that it's something that can't be changed through getting mad or angry at somebody. It's just something that we need to work through together and notice each other for human beings instead of our skin, and recognize the pain that we've been through because of our skin color and the others. So yeah, that's my stance.
Do you have any stories or want to bring to light to some things that personally happened to you?
Today, this lady followed me around my neighborhood because I look suspicious. I had a hood on, had my hat on. I'm riding low in a Lexus with my music loud. She followed me around the neighborhood for 15 minutes and drove around my house 2 times. I see you, lady.
Wow.
We see you.
Neighborhood watch really out here.
But I actually, when we first moved to our neighborhood, we were one of the first houses built there. And after the whole community was built, my stepdad, he's like a big Black guy. Like, he just looks like a regular big
giant
Black guy.
Jamaican guy.
Well, no, he's Vincentian, but yeah, still from the Caribbean. But a guy had come up to his car when he was driving down the street and was like, "Stop. I've never seen you before. What are you doing here? Who are you?" And he's like, "Excuse me? Like, you can't tell me that. You can't ask me these questions. I live here. My house was built here before your house was even a question." Like, and that's the thing, like, certain people, they have this authority to them because of their color of their skin, and they feel like they can do those things. Like, you're not a police officer, you're not a peace officer, you're not no type of government enforcement. So who gave you the right to stop a car in the middle of the road? Like, that's not okay. And it makes us feel inferior. Well, it doesn't make us feel inferior, but it makes us as a community feel inferior to what's going on against other people that are like that. So that sucks. But to those people, I just say blessings now. I used to get angry. I used to want to retaliate. Now it's just blessings. Like, I wish them the best life ever, honestly.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
What drives you to jump into the middle of the street and be like, "Yo, stop your car, man"? Like,
I know.
I've never
like,
seen you before.
Don't you have something to be doing?
Right? Like, do you have a life? What's going on?
Literally.
And this has happened to her like so many times.
So many
too,
times.
Like,
And it's also because like I think the more that I grew up, I'm very loud. I'm not loud, but I'm loud in the sense of my energy is loud. So I will wear things that maybe I shouldn't. I will walk in the mall with a black hood on and a black jacket and looking suspicious, because why can't I look like that? Why can't I look like that and walk around and be regular? Like, yeah, maybe I look like I'm going to steal something, but I'm not. I'm buying something just like everybody else. So, and it's like in America, it's not totally the same. Like, people still can walk around and be themselves. Like, in Calgary, it's different. Like, people, it's a general population when you look at people, and when people stand out, like gothic people that like to wear whatever black makeup and a lot of chains and purple and green hair, like, people will look at them and be like, what are they doing? But there's different groups. We just have to keep expressing ourselves so that people get more accustomed to seeing different types of energies and different types of people and vibes.
Yeah, I don't see how you can't judge a book by its cover. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Talking about that, your outfit.
Thank you.
Can't actually see it. We'd show you. Oh, there we go.
Oh, here she go again.
Outfit of the day.
Fresh outfit for the podcast.
What's the inspiration?
The inspiration is green, mostly because I just wanted these green pants, but green
For money.
is for money, yeah, and weed. But empathy,
Facts.
compassion, all those things, that actually symbolizes green. And
Green is actually one of the most calming colors as well.
yeah, it's a pleasing color to look at. You feel calm when you look at green. You feel energy, you feel vibes. So I like it. It was the vibe. It flowed today. Wasn't planned, but flowed today.
What about black?
Black is always a vibe. Ashley is super black vibes today.
I don't know if guys do this, but I know girls do this. I put this one outfit on and then I was like, if I start changing now, I'm going to go through like 17 different outfits and then end up wearing this. So black on black, can't fail.
Can't go wrong with that.
Some
You
poppin'
literally
shoes
can't.
and a cute little bag.
Exactly.
What's up, bitch?
Black on black is a vibe. You
Literally.
just show up to win.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's easy. It's a good look. Leather pants and a tight top, easy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I vibe with that. Yeah. Yeah. Vibe. What do you guys think about the studio since we're on that topic of looking at things?
It looks great.
It's great.
It looks amazing.
Great.
I like
Real
it.
leather.
It's very...
Come on now.
Yeah,
What you know about that? Real leather wall.
If you're on YouTube, welcome.
It's great vibes.
If you're listening, too bad.
If you're listening, just listen to me touch the wall.
Yeah, you can kind of hear that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you feel that?
All right, let's go into some passions. So we're gonna hit. Let's talk about mental health.
Yes.
COVID has been a very
Trying time.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely what I was going for.
Yeah.
Especially in 2020 and leading into 13 days of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
That's true.
How's that impacted you guys?
I think COVID in general for me with mental health, it's been pretty hard just because of the way that it's impacted society. Like, it's changed the way that I want to live my life and what I want to do. And it's hard to make those decisions in the house at home and have the government saying, we're going to get through this, but we got to do this, and this. This is dangerous. We're under emergency. Like, those negative things happening, it weighs in on me. And I get worried for where life is going to go, where I should go in life and what I should do. And I'm constantly changing like avenues. I have a whole bunch of avenues, but it's hard to lane into one with this whole thing going on.
So did COVID like put a damper on that, or would you say it enhanced it to be more seeking versus?
For me, COVID in general is a blessing. Although the people that have lost their lives, like that's the down part to this. But for me, it's been a blessing in a way that it's opened up my eyes. Like, I had my mental health foundation and I was ready to start doing events. In 2020, I was not able to do that because we're not allowed to have any events. And I had to make a decision. Okay, how am I going to impact people digitally without having events? And that's the things I'm trying to figure out now. So what I've done in the last months from August to November is I featured a woman that inspires me personally, because it's important for women to have regular people in society as your inspiration instead of looking at people like Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian and people that have these things that you don't have as a regular citizen. And you need to look at people like that is one of my biggest things, is just uplifting people around me that inspire me, so that when younger girls look at me, they can get a natural and real inspiration, not something that is created or bought.
Who inspires you the most, would you say? Because you say you don't look up to any of these idols or whatnot.
No. So who inspires me the most? Probably my mom and my dad inspire me the most. They are the hardest working people. They raised me in a way, the trials and tribulations that we went through, they raised me in a way where I was able to come out on top. I was able to finish graduating school and attend university. And those are things that in my family may not have been achievable. So they inspire me the most because they were able to reach the highest points for sure.
What was something so you said that this has been really impactful. What is something that you learned from COVID?
From COVID.
Like, what are these major keys that you've learned that's helped you especially push this mental foundation that you have to a collective?
Focus on yourself. Completely focus on yourself. Be selfish and get what you want to do in order. Like my thing right now is just to finish school. Like there's so much opportunity for me to finish school online right now because of what's going on, and that was one thing that was easier for me to do. So I learned that I need to take this as an opportunity to do things that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. But really routine as well. Having a routine is crucial because you're always at home and working. I work from home. I do everything from home other than modeling and that type of thing. So that is really stressful because it's like you're always at home. You just are lounging around, and sometimes you have to get out of that and you have to wake up and say, okay, I'm going to do my makeup and my hair. I'm going to sit down for breakfast. I'm going to have a little meditation. I'm going to pray. I'm going to thank God for this, and that. I'm going to smoke. I'm going to read. I'm going to wake up and go and do whatever I got to do that day, but keep doing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like as if you're living your outside life, but in your house. Like,
So I keep active. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't slow down.
And do like write down what you want to do. Like that's what's helping me lately.
Is just hit it like fast, but is online school better than in person?
Oh yeah, for me personally,
I know a lot of people are struggling with that. Like my friends,
It
some
definitely
of them have been failing.
differentiates.
Yeah, like
I know who you guys are.
I didn't like university at all. I did 3 years at University of Calgary and I did not like it. Mostly because I feel like if you're learning, it's not easy. Like the school part is easy, but if you're learning at a faster pace or you're really involved in your program and you really want to just learn more, like online is better because you can finish your assignments at your pace. Like, okay, if I want to do all the assignments in 1 week and be done, the whole unit type thing, versus waiting 3-4 weeks for the program to go by in school. You know what I mean? It's just faster and easier. Like I don't like all the breaks. But it's different for other people. Like, I don't know. Online for me is easier. I can just sit down in my own vibe and get my things done.
Well, it's easier said than done because I know some people can't do that.
Well, yeah, like I said,
built to-
routine.
Yeah.
You gotta sit down and say, I need to finish this by this date.
Do you think a lot of people struggle with routine?
I do.
What is something that you could personally, if someone's listening right now and they could take some advice, what is something that you try to do to always make sure you hit your routine every day?
Routine. Well, you can, if something is like your phone, like if you're a person that's like always on your phone or you are always on Instagram, whatever, you love your phone, put these things in your phone. Wake up, pray, meditate, take some time to yourself right now. Write down your goals, reflect, like set a reminder, reflect 8 a.m. or pray 8 a.m. Things that you need to do, get done, drink water, whatever it is that you're trying to put into your routine, set it in your phone because your phone is clearly, it's a part of your life like now. You know what I mean? It's always around you. So that will help you because that's just how life is right now. And it's harder. We're not in a day and age where you carry around your journal and you look in your journal. Okay, this is what I have to do today. Like people don't really do that anymore. No. Now it's your phone. So put that stuff in your phone.
Yo, she has a journal.
I do. I love journals. I have 1 million in my room. Like,
would you call them your journals or your diaries?
Journals. I do have diaries. I have diaries. I have lots. Yeah.
How do you differentiate? So is journals for life, diaries for love life? How does that work?
No, diaries. I don't write diaries anymore, but diaries was just like going into my whole life. Like I would be like, oh, hi diary. Hello diary. Dear diary, I just woke up today. Now I'm going to eat breakfast. Today I'm dreaming about this and this and this.
More so like your thoughts in the moment.
Yeah. Like my journal is just sketches, thoughts. Like my journal is messy. Like if I have goals, whatever, write down. That's what I buy journals for. That's what I bought this one for. It's just for goals.
Do you ever look back at them and like?
Yep.
Do you ever get inspired? Get cringed out?
That's
like,
the
dang,
point.
I said that.
You have to, when you write down your goals, like I remember before I traveled anywhere in the States, I said, I'm going this year to LA. I'm going to New York. I'm going to Miami. And that year I touched every place that I said I was going to touch that I wrote down. Like writing down your thoughts and your goals is manifesting it and putting it into real life. And when you reflect back on it, those things come true. Like, I don't care what nobody says. You gotta talk. Yeah, like you gotta talk it, write it out,
I
put
believe
it
that.
down, and it will happen.
I used to write in journals when I was younger. Not so much anymore. But I can remember everything I wrote down, which is crazy that you mentioned that.
Yeah, like I personally write stuff in my notes, but I don't find that it sticks enough for me. Like I'm the type of person, even in school, like I can't type. Like I have to write my notes out. I have to write everything out perfectly over and over again. That's just how it works in my head.
I'm a very like auditorial, if that's the word, learner.
Yeah, you learn through listening.
Audio, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could literally write stuff on a notebook endlessly. And I will not remember a single thing unless I was like reading it out loud.
Oh, I'm the opposite. Yeah.
I'm a visual learner.
Visual?
I have to see it. I could write everything down, but like I need to like see and like kinetic. What is it called?
It's
like hands-on?
No, there is like terminology for it though. Like yeah, you learn like through like your sight and through your hands rather than like
don't know the word.
Textile?
Yeah, I forget.
Maybe textile.
I have no idea.
It's been a minute.
So I guess when you're doing tests, you see visually, and when you're doing tests, what do you see?
I personally would rather have tests as talking. Like if I could talk and answer questions that way, it would be way easier for me.
No, I mean like when you're doing the test, how do you remember?
Oh, I remember through writing things over again and saying it in my head. I usually just remember
like what it was.
But for school, it's different. Like psychology is something that I love. Like I read psychology every day. So if I'm interested in it, I'll remember it more than likely. But I have to be interested in it. That's the thing. So I have to read it over and over again.
Right. Well, that's with most things. You can't read something you hate. Remember?
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be horrible. I feel so bad for someone that hates something that they're doing for the rest of their life.
Exactly.
Can you imagine going to school for 4 years for something you never did?
Exactly. That's something I don't want to do.
Yeah, it feels bad. I know a lot of people who went to school for like comp science or I guess that is engineering, or like just any STEM courses, and they always end up in business. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
weird.
I mean, I guess like a lot of those people, they'll always say like, if I never did that, I would have never ended up here. I mean, like everything's like happens for a reason, right? So
That's facts.
you learn through that.
It's always funny when everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I'll do the 9 to 5," and I've had so many people on the podcast be like, "Dude, I was doing the 9 to 5, hated my life, finally stepped out, started something during Corona, and now look where I am." And
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
like, thank God, 'cause I love these people.
Exactly.
What are some things you guys did during Corona?
Like,
I don't know.
anything?
Reorganized my whole apartment.
I went to Tulum.
I was seeing someone stupid, and then now this time I'm like self-reflecting.
Ooh, how's that going?
It's been all right.
Should we talk about relationships?
Good.
Someone get a relationship? You look at me like, no. We could get the advice.
My face-
Come on now. You're like, this one is still a little new.
No, you know, I'm fine with relationships. I just have the worst luck.
Well, I can't help that luck, but we can definitely talk about it. Shed some light.
Don't rush into moving in with your significant other, because that is the downfall most of the time for everybody, because I was in a very strong relationship up until that point. like marriage, kids type of relationship, and then it just got to like, oh my God, I'm like 20 and a housewife.
Yeah.
Like, do I really want this for myself? Like, yeah, but I mean, like, all relationships are always like a growing process. Like, they like are very, I think, fundamental for you as a person. How are you gonna know what you like in a person if you don't go through all the
hiccups?
Shit?
Yeah.
How would I know I need to be treated a certain way if I didn't get totally shit on?
I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean? It sucks. But
It definitely helps you learn that everyone's still human. Like,
yeah.
not every single person's gonna. There's no perfect
Yeah.
person. You know, we all get mad.
Yeah, I think it's
That's true.
bettered me for my next relationship. I think I'll be better. I know I'll be better. And I want better. I think at the end of the day, it's always like what you want for yourself. You are like your own reflection. If you are seeing shitty guys and having problems with guys, sometimes it's you.
It's true.
Reflect.
Sometimes it was me, and I know that.
So what is something that you taken from this? Because I mean, definitely people are struggling with something like that with relationships. Being like, why do I keep falling in with the same guys? Why do I keep feeling this way? What is something that you could definitely...
Don't ever think somebody as your other half. You need to be a whole. You are a whole, and I'm glad also in this day and age I found a lot of my friends who have been in a lot longer relationships are starting to say, and set, like, rather than like, oh, like this is like my wife or this is my husband, oh, this is my partner. Because especially if you're talking monogamy, like that is a partnership. Like marriage is a partnership. People, like, it's so like lost in the sauce these days, but like I do still, not necessarily traditional marriage, but just like the idea of it, just like committing yourself to one person, enjoying what life is for you with that one person. Yeah, I don't know, it's like very lost now. I don't know.
No, I agree with that. Like,
you know, you have to find somebody with that same mentality, right? So
I definitely agree. It's like a partnership.
yeah, it's like
I don't know if love can last forever, in all honesty. I see some of these people, like, I feel like there's affection. There will always be affection for that person.
There's always lust.
Yeah.
Right? And I've always said this, that I found most of the time, like, especially like older people, it's like their second, third marriage that's always like really great. It's not like you'll always love one person for the rest of your life. Like, shit happens, life goes on. It's not wrong to like fall out of love. It's actually very normal. But if you fall out of love and there's no resurrecting it, there's no need to keep trying.
Like, if you hate
you
the
know
person,
what I mean? Yeah.
like marriage therapy, couple therapy.
Exactly.
That's usually what happens.
Where it's on your own mental health. Like, that's the worst part about being in a relationship. It is a partnership. So if your partner isn't holding up their end, like, obviously you're weighing down, but then you're essentially just weighing down on yourself.
I've never been married, been in a relationship that, but I would assume that the weight of someone not fulfilling, or just someone not doing what they're supposed to be doing, would weigh down on someone else
Most of the
more.
time people always say like, oh, I wish I left earlier, I stayed because of them and this and that. At the end of the day, whether it's like relationships, family, anything, like, you, sounds so bad to say, not really, but you came into this world alone. You're gonna come out of this world alone. Period, poo. So
yeah,
worry about yourself.
No, I agree with that. Sometimes I have a problem with people who weasels, who come into life, come into other people's lives because they're doing stuff and they don't want to feel like they're being left behind. But you know the crazy thing about that, if you start something, you're gonna see it, and then you're gonna be being like, why are there weasels around me? It's an incredible feeling when you start being independent, because you get to see others being independent, and you can really siphon between people who aren't doing anything, who think they are.
Yeah, it's great to learn that, especially like at a younger age. Not saying that I'm like super young or old, but at 24, I'm really glad I learned everything that I have regarding people, boyfriends, like whatever. Because y'all be moving funny.
Lessons learned.
I always find it weird to be like, so some people date to get to know someone. Some people date because they're like, I want to marry you. But shouldn't it be partnership? Really? It's like, I want to live life with you.
Yeah.
Like, I want to live life with you, not for you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
People get lost in the sauce, like you said. It's like, where? It's not princess and butterflies.
I want you to make me happy.
That's the thing about relationships. It's not. It's work.
It is work.
It's not no ride in the park. It's not no jolly lolly honeymoon, flowers and dandies. It's hard work. And people, I think what it is too is like, if you don't have a representation of a strong relationship or bond of any sort in your life coming up, you will not be able to give or receive or
understand
that type of lifestyle, because you were never taught that type of love. So,
and not saying it's not unattainable.
No.
For example, if you grow up in a broken house, that's as much as you want to say, you know it. I mean, you're kind of living in it. So it stems out of you. But you can find very, very capable people who will love to show you what a functional relationship looks like.
Of course.
And never go based off similar trauma. I find that's ends up being the most toxic, because you just lean on each other in a very negative way. There's no healing from that type. Like, you just, most of the time it's just resurfacing trauma, which doesn't get solved unless you actually work on it, which most of the time most people don't.
How do you address that? Say you're in a relationship with someone and you keep seeing it coming. How would you address it? Would you just hit it on the nose? Would you
hit it on the nose?
Squeeze into it?
Hit it on the butt.
Just go for it.
I would just want to know. Personally, I've been through a lot of life trauma myself. It is something, obviously not everyone's comfortable bringing up. I would never like badger it on somebody, but like if it got to a point in a relationship, I'd be like, what is it? Because I would just like to know why you're this way. Like, not saying it's a bad thing why you're this way, but like why is it the way why are you the way you are?
Yeah, like what means
and because if we don't see the eye to eye on it, maybe I feel like I'm not the right one. Then
well, how do you go about it? Because most of the time that comes, I'm guessing, because I'm relating this to myself, if someone came to me like that, it'd either be pride, ego, just uncertainty of being judged, etc. So like, how would you personally, from your experience, go about dealing with kind of meddling your way in without hitting it too deep that they shut down?
I'm a very like, I don't know, women especially are just like very maternal and loving. Like, I will like
keep nurturing them and loving them forever. Like, you would
have to hit it on the nail. I honestly would just be like, wait for any type of opening and be like, if it was like a mom issue and like maybe one time they like mentioned their mom, I'd be like, I kind of like was wondering about that. Like, you know, like it's never a necessarily bad thing to ask, especially if you're in a relationship. You do need to know these things about people. But yeah, it's hard when people don't want to talk. But if there is like a little slight opening, be like, I actually was wondering about your mom. I actually want to know so I can help you if you want, like in a way to support you, be like another like support system. But again, that comes down to the person.
That's facts. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That is. Yeah. I don't know what else to add to that.
Yeah. It's just like talking to your friends who have like depression or anxiety. You never want to like push it on them. Be like, hey, why are you depressed?
Yeah.
You know, hey, what's your trauma?
Yeah, like, good.
Well, you know, and a lot of the time people don't remember a lot of like psychology. Like, there's a lot of trauma blocking, and sometimes people don't even know what happened, or everything is a little foggy. So sometimes they just don't even know. It's like, I don't know. True. I think therapy is very beneficial for anybody who deals with any type of like anxiety, any form of mental health, honestly. But just couples therapy, regular therapy, like you go get physical therapy when you break your leg or something. If you feel like your mental is not all there, therapy is always.
Or someone trusted in your life that you can throw it all on and let them listen.
Yeah, exactly. Third party is always nice. Yeah. No judgment.
Just a random question. Just throw it. Did you guys get bullied at all in school?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
How do you guys deal with that?
It was awful. I don't know. I got really sad. I got really dark and deep, but I didn't know how to handle it, to be honest. I didn't know how to handle it.
What about you, Kamika?
I think again.
I know with you, because we did do some of this similar. Mm-hmm. The culture.
Yeah.
You're a very culture person.
Yeah. I think that I am blessed in the way that I had a lot of family around me, so I was able to recover from things very quickly versus people that don't have that support system and have to do it on their own. But for me, I was able to go to my parents. I was able to go to my family and talk to them and get help through them. I also was a professional ballerina, so my mind was very focused in what I was doing. When I had those downfalls, I had ballet. I was the best in my ballet. That was the best thing for me to keep my head on when those things were happening to me.
So that was your way out.
Yeah.
To be like,
for sure.
I'll focus on this.
Yeah, for sure.
It's always, I find it good to have outlets.
Yeah.
especially being young, because things that happen to you young will always bypass. It'll always supersede past it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't have an outlet to kind of, be free with yourself, you're always feeling like you're drowning
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
all the time.
That's true.
It's a very sensitive age.
How did you deal with it?
I
don't
actually
mind.
ended up transferring schools. I'm obviously not going to share it on here, but I had like something happen, and then I actually ended up transferring schools. And then I kind of just started like fresh there. It was very confusing for me at the time, but I'm glad it happened. Everybody likes to shit on Forest Lawn, but you know what? Coming from like the suburbs, and most of those kids like came from a lot of money, are very fortunate to going to another school where everybody has been through something. Not everybody is super blessed and fortunate. It kind of like humbled me a bit and like made me feel less alone, pretty much.
I vibe with that.
Yeah. Don't always hate on them ghetto schools. Because
they got love.
I'll fuck you up.
No, they really do got love. I haven't thought of it like that, huh?
Yeah, that's like, especially just because like at the time it was like grade 10, like I was living in the Northwest, and then I moved to Forest Lawn. Everyone always asked like, why would you move to Forest Lawn? And after a while I was like, I honestly like it way better over here. Like people are so much nicer and understanding, whereas, not saying anything bad about them because I'm still friends with a lot of these people, but I just didn't receive that same love like ever. So
how do you deal with like giving too much? Do you just stop, or do you?
I have stopped. I used to give like my all. Now I only give to myself, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess you have the people you pick and choose in your life.
Yes.
What about you, Kamika?
I'm like extremely a giver, but that's because like me, the way I was raised too, like my family is always, it's in our every day we give thanks, and every day we give. Like it's just in our blood to always give. Like my mom always taught me when I was a kid, if your friend asks you for this, you give it to them because you have another one at home. If somebody asks you for something, don't give them half, give them the whole thing. But that's, you give when you can. If you can't give, then don't give.
Yeah.
Because when you start giving when you can't, that's when you're taking away from yourself. But when you can, if your cup is full or overflowing, then give.
How do you deal with people taking advantage? Have you ever noticed anyone taking advantage of your giving? You laugh like, yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah, it happens to me often because, again, like I said, I'm a giving person, and with those things, you have to, there's negative things and faults to all those things, and you have to be aware of that. So you have to know when you're playing yourself or when you're about to play yourself, or if there's a possibility of playing yourself. So you have to know the risks. It's just like when you're trading in the stock markets, you know what risk you're taking, you know what you're going to lose. So if you want to take that risk and you have the ability to, then you take it. If you can't,
don't take the risk.
Don't take it.
Do you do stocks?
Do
you invest in stocks?
Yes, I do.
Oh, dope. What stocks do you have right now?
Honestly, right now I'm looking into Ethereum.
Well, that's cryptocurrency.
Yeah, so it's Bitcoin's like baby brother. I just recently I'm more of Forex, but I just recently got into the cryptocurrency. I've always been playing around with Bitcoin for the past year, but like now I'm really looking at, okay, what am I going to invest in for long term? Because things that people don't get, like now stocks has become such like a regular topic for everybody. Like people aren't really going into the fundamentals and actually learning what it is. They're just piggybacking and bandwagoning off of everybody else that has this social media presence. And it's really like, it's funny because it's like corrupting the market at some points. Like it affects the markets, how people trade,
because didn't
right?
Meek Mill tweet something and now the stocks are down?
Because people don't understand.
I don't know if that was real, but I saw it was like 12 minutes from now.
It was real.
Apple stocks dropped, Tesla stocks dropped.
It was real though, because if you have an influential presence and people actually go and, let's say a smaller stock, right? If everyone goes and buys into that stock, obviously the stock is going to go down, but that actually makes it better for us, because if the stock goes down, down, we can buy it at a lower price. So when it's going to shoot back up, obviously Bitcoin is going to go back up. Obviously Tesla is going to go back up. They're doing great.
I can't say that for Bitcoin because it's crypto.
Well, I'm not saying it's going to go back up or down. Like obviously you can't really say that, but when you're looking at price action, if something has already reached that point, it's more than likely that it's going to reach somewhere around that point in general. So for it to go down, you can catch all that money going back up, or all those pips going back up. So it's beneficial for people. But again, that's what I mean. Like, you can't just blurt information out like that. It's better to tell people, hey, I want my people to learn and educate themselves on how to trade and how to invest in stocks. That's a better comment to make, so people can actually sit down and teach themselves and really make the same bread.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is everyone wants that.
Everyone wants the fast track.
Yeah. They don't want
it. It's not going to work like that. It don't work like that.
It never works like that, especially in stocks.
That's why I laugh
long term
now, because I talk to some people that are like, oh yeah, I invest. And I'm like, well, if you're investing, that's a long term. Like when you're investing in Apple, for example, if you invested years ago, you're only going to see your return from investing in it in a long term. You know what I mean? You're not going to see it from hopping in this week and hopping out the next week. So that's why for me, I do Forex, like day trading. I can hop in and out because the foreign currencies are always, it's like from Monday to Friday and closed on the Sundays, but it's always happening. Like it's a 24-hour market. It's always going on. So that is something that you can do to hop in and out of the market. But stocks is, I would say, is long term. You can do day trading, but I'd say it's better to long term.
Day trading is, you gotta wake up at 6 a.m.
Oh my god, my friend is on there at like 5 a.m. He actually doesn't even sleep sometimes. He takes like little naps with us on FaceTime and he comes back and I'm like, are you trading right now? He's like,
it depends what market you're going to. So like the New York market opens at 8 a.m. their time. So depending on whatever time that is here. So I trade the London and the New York. So I go from 6 p.m. all up until 12 p.m. the next day. And I don't trade Tokyo session. Tokyo session is like dinner time, the Asian session. But nothing really happens there. It's consolidation. So it's just like not
know a lot about stocks. Well, I'll tell you a little story of mine. I mentioned this last time. But so when I was on TikTok, right? Scrolling through TikTok, you know how they always have like those random TikToks like, yo, you should invest in this, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So this one guy, I scroll past, like, invest in this. I'm not going to tell you the name because I don't want to be the sole proprietor to your bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. But I was like, all right, word. So I just spent I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy this stock. I have some money to waste. So I throw a bunch of money in it. I wake up today, I'm up. All my other stocks are down. I'm like, great. But I was still surprised because TikTok really do be helping me.
Yeah, there's definitely, that's how I even got into trading, because I started playing with MetaTrader 4 on the app and had no idea what I was doing, but I was making money. And then I started putting my own money in and I lost a lot. I won a lot. I lost a lot. But then I'm like, if I can do this and I don't know what the hell I'm doing, if I learn, I'm going to make money eventually. And that's what it is. You got to stick to it. You got to keep doing it, keep making trades, keep doing that, and you'll learn.
Well, Bitcoin right now is a decent market to be in. I think it's at 50,000.
For sure. If I would have got, I was debating, I'm like, should I just invest last month? And it's already gone up more than 10,000.
From what history shows, I was big into it 4 years ago when it first blew up. Me and my friend were trading it constantly.
Mm-hmm.
From what history shows, the peak was 26,000 and then it went down to 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
And now they peaked at 50,000. So either they're going to peak, my hypothesis is probably 75 to 80,000 peak. And then they're going to peak back down to maybe 50 or 40,000 for the resting coin for the next year or two. Because that seems to be the trend, because Tesla just decided to do all their trading in it. So it'll probably stay up there for a while.
There's a lot.
It's definitely not going down too much.
It's definitely going to be watching the news and seeing how it goes. That's going to be learning what's going to happen with Bitcoin. Because I don't know. I've heard okay, Bitcoin could possibly just be, because there's no laws and there's nothing pertaining to it. So it could fall out as laws begin to
Yeah.
You know what I
They're
mean?
the third largest currency in the world.
Yeah, and it's not regulated, so
It's just you can
it's
mine it.
crazy. Like you can literally trade anonymously.
Yeah, you can
Like
also
that's insane.
you can buy houses with it.
Yeah, that's insane. Like
not everyone's taking Bitcoin because they know it's so
lucrative.
Yeah. Like they're like, yeah, I don't really want to bet. But if you bet a vehicle on it, like I know at one point they were selling Lamborghinis.
What?
You could buy Bitcoin. I mean, you could buy a Lamborghini with Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, you can buy stuff in LA with Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin machines everywhere. Like you can use Bitcoin to pay for things.
There's Bitcoin machines in Vancouver too. There's a couple.
We have some here, but there's the ATMs. You can't buy stuff with them.
Oh no, in LA you can.
You also can't withdraw money from them.
Yeah. If
not
you have an account.
Calgary.
No, not the ones in Calgary.
No, because I was like, yo, I want to withdraw some money. He's like, this machine cannot withdraw money. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, you need a broker.
To withdraw money?
Yeah. But to transfer your Bitcoin for you in Canada.
You don't need to go that way.
Well, like if you want to have your money allocated in one place for your trading, then you should. Like
through
for trading.
Bitcoin?
Yeah, for trading.
I didn't realize you could trade with Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's what I do. I buy Bitcoin. That's how I trade. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in the game. Yeah. I've just been watching crypto and stocks separately.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a different thing than, I mean, like I said, I dibble and dabble and go into the indices like gold, NASDAQ. I trade that. But.
Well, gold is long term.
Gold is, you can do, honestly, you can make bread off of gold in 2 minutes. Yeah, gold is very.
There's a gold factory here in Calgary.
It's crazy.
I can't really say where though, but this one guy. No, like literally, it's like a secret location. I'm not even kidding.
Tell me later.
Like their vaults, they have like 10 vaults. I can't even. Anyways,
what?
This guy. So during Corona, he was freaking out. He's like, "Yo, I don't want any of my assets to lose value." So he sold all of his assets. I think he bought like 8 or 10 million worth of gold, and they literally took the gold, put it in a box, and stuck it in a safe. Just so he wouldn't lose any value in his assets, which was probably the smartest thing to do for COVID.
For sure.
And a lot of people don't realize that.
It's true.
I was like, dang, this dude's actually out here balling with it. Let's get into your foundation.
Yes. The Walker Foundation.
The Walker Foundation. Why is it called that?
It's called.
Give us some background to it too.
Okay. It's called the Walker Foundation because my last name is Guerra-Walker. My dad is the inspiration behind the Walker Foundation. So his last name is Walker. I'm his only child and I want to carry on his name because maybe if I get married, I'll lose the last name. So the Walker will always be carried with that foundation. My dad has schizophrenia, and it has been a journey of learning about his mental illness, other people's mental illness, and mental illnesses in general. And I created the foundation to stimulate minds, connect people in society, to integrate and embrace mental health into daily life. Just because I feel like it is still stigmatized. We do talk about it now, but I feel like we talk about it in a light way. Like a lot of people are realizing all the different types of symptoms they could have towards mental illnesses or like anxiety and depression, and realizing like, okay, this is what it is, and now defining it and making it a thing. So people now need to take it seriously. Like when people are telling you, okay, I'm stressed out, I'm feeling anxious, like it's not something to be taken lightly. It's something that we need to learn and understand and realize that this is a real thing, and it affects people physically, psychologically, in every way. It's not just something when you're anxious, it's not just something that you can shake off. Like some people still have that stigma around it. So what I want to do is host events, cultural events that have presentations, whether it's through an individual, a family, a society, any type of group that wants to put through a message. So I can show people and impact people in a space, in an event, while showing them culture, whether that's Spanish. I'm half Chilean and I'm half Jamaican. I have 2 cultures that I want to show people because I want people to be integrated in Calgary with cultures and know what soca is, what dancehall is, what reggae is, what what food comes from St. Vincent and Jamaica and all these different Caribbean islands. That's important to me because I don't see that enough here. And for mental health, it's big in the Black community. For me, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make my foundation in Calgary, because in my Black community that I have here, we push through things. We don't talk about things. When things happen, we put our head up and we keep going. And although that might be strength and power, it's not always the way. We need to go back and reflect and talk about things and how things have affected us and how we can push through them. And that's important for me to put that message across for the youth.
So you mentioned that your dad had schizophrenia.
Yes.
How did you deal with that? Like, if you don't mind going into that.
Yeah. So basically, when I was around 6 years old, he started having symptoms, and the government felt as if it was dangerous for him to be my parent guardian. So his custody was stripped, and I had a restraining order from him until the age of 18 years old. So he was not allowed to come to my school. He was not allowed to pick me up. He was not allowed to see me, talk to me, call me, or do any of that for many, many years. And it was very hard. Like I said, my mom was always transparent with me, and that's one of the things that I'm blessed for. Since I was a kid, she always kept it real and said, this is what's happening. This is why the police is here. This is why the government is doing this. She always told me what was going on, so I always understood. And it opened up my mind to the mind in general. I wanted to understand, why is this happening to my dad? Why are these things happening? What does it mean? Does this happen to other people? And that's how I created myself to be a doctor. That's why I wanted to be a doctor. But through that, there was many trials and tribulations, and I was able to meet him 2 years ago, or 3 years ago now. 2019. Yeah, 3 years ago in 2018 in Jamaica for the first time, and see how he lived there, because he was deported back from Canada to Jamaica. So that's how it was hard. Like people in my school, some people knew, and I did have comments about it. I had comments about his homelessness and things like that, and it was hard, but I was able to keep my head up because I knew my dad and I knew who he was inside. So no matter what he went through or who saw him in whatever way, I know who he is. And today, now, he's doing absolutely amazing. He takes his medicine and he's amazing. He's doing great in his own country. But now I've opened up my eyes to Jamaica and mental illness in Jamaica and what's going on over there. And that's my target. That's where I'm going to help first.
What are you planning on hitting when you go to Jamaica?
So my dad is from Galloway District, Betheltown, Westmoreland, Jamaica. It's up in the hills, up in the valley, and there's just trees everywhere. And it's the neighborhood he lives in. It's not mansions in Beverly Hills.
It's not like the hills. It's the
not
Jamaican.
Yeah, it's not those type of hills, but it humbles me every day to know where I come from, a board house. And I'm proud to say that I come from that. When I traveled to the hospital, I realized that there's no doctors working in that hospital. There's only nurses working in that hospital because they have no running water in that hospital. There's about I'd say 65 people that come to take a injection there for their mental illness every month. And the nurses told me we don't have any help because we can't have doctors working here with no running water. It doesn't make sense. So that's my goal, is to get them running water and help them do that.
That's a really big goal for a hospital.
It's really big. And the hospital is not big. It's not like a hospital that you would imagine here. It's about the same size as your studio. It's not really that big. Like, for example, like going into maybe 2 times of a regular living room. Like, it's not huge, but it's working for now. But these people need help, and Canadians can definitely, we have our cup is full enough to give to these people. So yeah, that's what those are the things that bring me down to earth every day, is when I think about my family in Jamaica back home and how they live and how I live here. It's very different. And it just shakes me out of complaining, out of any type of complaining of anything that I have, because I know that I'm blessed with too much compared to them. So yeah.
And that was the inspiration behind.
Yeah, the inspiration is fully my dad. It's fully everything. It's to some people it would be like, oh, don't be a doctor because of your dad's illness or because of what's going on. But for me, it affected like my life in such a way that that's my destiny. And I feel that every day. Like there's nothing else that I don't think about other than mental health and helping other people that were in my position, because I know how it feels for people to look at you, like, for example, and say, oh, your dad is crazy. Are you crazy? And it's like, there's no craziness. There's nothing. Mental illness does not mean you're crazy at all.
Well, it really could be a scary thing to become a doctor. And maybe the reason why people are trying to tell you not to become a doctor is because you actually understand the illness fully.
Yeah. And there's such thing as having an illness where you study these things and actually accumulate an illness because you're worried about getting the illness. And I had a professor in university talk to me about that, because she saw how interested I was in schizophrenia and those things. So
she said you could actually...
No, it's an actual illness, like just getting stressed out about reading about it. But I'm
terrified of schizophrenia. Just put it out there.
It's well, the thing about schizophrenia is it's very new still. It's a very new concept still, because we don't know a cure. We don't know anything really of what's going on with it or where it's going to go in terms of getting a cure and medication and those things. It's just treated as for right now. But my goal...
They do have medication to subside it, right?
Yes. So my dad takes medication, but I would like to, when I finish medical school, I would like to find other ways away from medication. I don't want
Do you plan
to use medication.
Researching?
Yeah, so I want to go into research of like physical, any type of spiritual, but I'm still going to get I still have to go and do my medical school and get that little paper. But I am going to be going the spiritual route, but I will be a certified PhD.
That'll be a very interesting route. It'll be a minute.
Yeah, it's going to be a minute, but it's hard, you know, like it's hard to put your head down and do that stuff, especially nowadays. Like there's a lot of distractions going around here, but the foundation is something that will always be around, and hopefully you'll know about it.
As long as you're around, we'll be around.
Yeah, exactly.
And even when you're not around, the legacy is going to be around.
Exactly. That will be my legacy. Like my legacy will not be modeling, acting, whatever. My legacy will be the Walker Foundation. Facts.
Yeah, not fast. So you said you're going to go a spiritual route. That's
like holistic.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Natural
holistic. I want to
of the earth.
I'm still learning. Like I don't
is
know.
Is that frowned upon in the science community? Because I'm assuming it is.
Yeah.
It's almost like the opposite direction.
Exactly. But my thing too is I listen, I try to find stories of people who have schizophrenia, and they say like the medication makes them blurry. It brings them down. They don't want to eat. My dad would tell me if he takes a medication and he doesn't eat, his stomach hurts all day. Like there's so many negative effects to these things. And I know that there's a way that we can help people. If they were doing it back in the day when we didn't have medication, then through tribes, like I'm talking about Indian tribes and native tribes that used holistic and spiritual ways to whatever, as medicine. Yeah. So I'm still learning meditation. I'm still learning these things. I'm not an expert. I'm a novice. I'm a knockoff beginner, literally. But this is the route.
Start.
Yeah, this is the route.
Beginning.
This is the route that I want to take, because I know that it's beneficial. And I'm talking about diet as well. Things that you consume, like what we consume today is also a part of our mental health. Like there's so many bad things that I eat every day that I realize I'm like, oh, if I go to McDonald's or even this regular stuff in my fridge, like a lot of the stuff is preservatives, and it sucks to hear, but giving your body these foods and good fruits can help your brain and really change your life. I've seen way too many. There's just way too many stories out there for us to not tap into an actual realm of, okay, let's look at prevention instead of curing and instead of disease. Why are we talking about disease? Why are we not talking about preventing diseases? Like, there's a whole world that people don't understand. The government, as much as the government wants to heal people, the government wants to make money off of pharmaceuticals. Like, pharmaceuticals is one of the biggest, I think it's the second biggest money maker in the world, or you'd have to Google
pharma.
it. But yeah, like we make a lot of our money off of medication and pharmacy. That's like one of the biggest businesses.
You know, the most annoying thing now you mentioned that, you know, when ADHD and ADD was kind of becoming a thing, how they diagnosed almost every child with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, they were just be like,
Adderall, like
ADD.
nothing.
Literally, just
exactly.
These doctors are just out here handing out drugs to
And
every
Adderall's
single
not
kid
even
who's
good for
hyper.
you.
None of that stuff is good for you.
No, any of the pharmaceutical shit is not good for you. You actually have no idea what they're giving you.
It's horrible for your liver.
You're
for
not
one.
sure what they're giving you.
Exactly. Like, for example, my mom had a spasm in her back and she went to the doctor. The doctor prescribed her medication to take away the pain. But what I think would have been more, I'm not a doctor. I know I'm not a doctor, but what I think would have been more beneficial is to seek a chiropractor or go attend yoga,
like physical
and
therapy.
Spasm, work out that muscle. That's what I was taught when I was in ballet. We weren't taught to take medicine and go about. We were taught to get into that muscle and start working it out and dragging it out with a ball or whatever it is, like physical. You need that, and you need whatever. Like, if you've ever heard of Tiger Balm, like
yes,
Tiger Balm, like
she ain't even Asian.
Exactly, like that stuff is the goat. That stuff is the goat.
Like all Asian remedies are like
exactly,
like literally like scraping your back so that you get blood flow to the rest of your skin, or like cupping and like acupuncture.
Exactly, all those things are physical. And it's things that you can do instead of taking these pills that it's gonna feel like a perky. It's gonna get you down, and it's gonna make you feel. A lot of time
people get addicted too, especially if they get Percocets.
You're gonna get addicted. It's
people
crazy.
get addicted to their pain medication. It happens all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, funny you say Tiger Balm. I was thinking about Vicks. The stuff
Yep. Slap that shit on your chest.
Honestly,
call it a day.
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know if anyone else can relate, but when you're sick and you're a child and your mom walks in, she's just like,
I'm fucking rubbing that shit all over.
Literally,
I used to put it like right here.
And then it's like so warm, and then like
put it in my nose.
Yeah,
I would literally
stick it in my nose. Smell it.
Literally.
My mom would always put it on my chest, and I'd be like, yo, it's so warm. And then like she stopped, walk away. And then my t-shirt just slowly falls on my chest, and it gets so cold.
Yeah.
I love that though. Vicks and ginger ale.
It was a vibe. Definitely a vibe. That was just completely off topic, but I had to hit
it. No, it's true.
But natural remedies are definitely, gluten. What people, I don't know if you realize this, but gluten actually causes insane mental issues.
That's insane.
Which is
I
weird.
have read a little bit about gluten.
No, like it's bad to like a point of, so a friend of mine, she's got off gluten, and I'm like, trust me, in 6 months, your life is going to be like totally different. It's a different friend of mine who was on gluten. She was having mental battles, constantly just feeling down, all the above. Stop taking gluten.
Stop eating gluten.
Yeah. Eating gluten, not taking it. He's on supplements.
Can't spell, can't talk.
And she podcast host, okay.
Masha.
I don't need that stuff. So now she's like, yo, my life is better.
It is, honestly, I actually had a big discussion with a group of people about this, but your gut health has a lot to do with your mental health, actually.
Exactly.
Isn't that
your
crazy?
gut actually holds a lot of your anxiety, and like a lot of that. I mean, in general, you should be taking care of your gut health. It is like of utmost importance, but it actually is really good and beneficial as well for your mental health.
You know what they should have? They should have a human diagram of the organs, and then a diagram of the skull, and then a diagram of the spiritual, and then a diagram of mental health.
We do
the
that.
gut. This make sure you keep this clean. Stomach, make sure you keep this clean.
Yeah.
Brain, make sure you keep that clean.
It's
Make sure you keep
also,
that brain clean.
Your liver, your
chakras.
kidneys, your heart,
Like-
your chakras.
Like literally, like this, when you rub your stomach, like that's, you should be rubbing your stomach in circular motions. When you feel angry or upset, it can calm
or your
you down.
mind, like open your third eye. Like it's really
tap
like
in.
it really does take time, especially if you're new. I highly recommend guided
process.
meditations, mainly because I have a hard time focusing. So at least with guided meditations, it's almost like they're telling you what to do. But especially like we said, like a lot of people obviously do have ADHD, but it does help, especially if you have that, because I cannot focus if I'm just sitting there trying to meditate and just centering on my breath. I can't do that. I need to like listen to something.
Are you guys very big on multitasking? Like, do you need something blaring in your ears to do something else?
No, I'm just really good at multitasking. It's just a women thing.
Well, I think everyone's good at multitasking.
No, a lot of the people
thing.
are not good at multitasking. Only do one thing at a time.
I can do several things at a time.
I mean, I can do like 4 or 5 things at a time.
Okay, you, but other people, I know some people.
Like my sister will literally chirp me for being like watching TV, doing homework, watching YouTube video, and talking to someone. She'll be like,
okay, that's kind of doing a lot.
Yeah, she'll literally make fun of me.
I can't watch
no
TV and watch a YouTube video.
No, I know. I
Like,
can't be
I
on
can-
FaceTime and something else on the same. I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
I will literally, I'm not, so you know how your phone just came out with a new thing where you go on Netflix and you swipe up and a little screen pops down?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be literally watching something as I'm
While
doing
you're
work,
doing something else.
everything,
Yeah.
and then there'll be music playing. Mom will be talking to me.
If I'm listening to music, I'm listening to music.
I don't know what it is,
I
but
can't
just
listen to music and watch TV.
But I'll be like wait, why? I guess that's just a
'Cause
me
I
thing.
don't-
It's like
I
counteractive.
can't- yeah, like how am I
Especially
listening
if
to
it's
the
like
music?
auditory, I can't listen to two
Yeah,
things at the same
I can't
time.
pay
I can like
attention.
listen to one thing and then look at another thing and then like touch another thing and then use my and smell something else.
Do you guys edit videos and stuff? Do homework? Because like when you're doing homework, you stick something on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be like
editing
editing.
videos is different though. You don't have
Yeah.
to pay attention.
But
Like unless you're picking the video. But if you're
usually I
editing
pick
it-
a video. Like I'm usually picking videos while I'm editing stuff. It was built
You
different.
do too much.
Yeah, you're doing too much.
You're doing
You need
too
to
much.
slow
I
down.
don't feel like I'm doing enough. That's the question. That's
Me
the problem.
too. I feel like that a lot.
Like I know that people probably look at certain people like, oh, they've made it. Like, oh, they're doing it a certain way. But no matter what, when you jump into their shoes, they still haven't done it. They're just doing what they think they need to do. They're like, yo, this is the life path. I'm doing it. But at the end of the day, maybe they're struggling. Maybe they're going through some mental health. But you don't see it. You never know.
Yeah, it's true. That's why you always just got to keep going in your own lane. Keep going. Don't stop.
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah. I don't know how to explain it more to people, but you got to do what you got to do and steal the bag.
Exactly.
That is something but yeah, I don't know. Multitasking for me is just.
Get that head, get that bread, and leave.
Wow. I haven't hit that level of multitasking yet. Different level of
I'm just, like,
multitasking.
looking at you,
Summed it
like,
up.
What am I gonna say?
Well, I guess if it works, right?
Words to live by.
If it twerks.
Yeah.
More so get that bread.
If it twerks, it works.
Fuck, she on it too, girl.
Yeah, if you're not
Don't fuck
twerking, you're not
her
working.
out.
That's all I gotta say. I like how we just went from
If
like,
you don't feel like twerking, you're not working.
that's facts. I like how we went from like mental health to like the serious. Now we're just like,
Wait, what did she say? Go girl, get that cash, whether it's 9 to 5 or shaking your ass. Says Missy Elliott.
yo, thinking about that. Okay, this is so. Yeah. Anyways, we're on the pace, whatever. You know what's crazy? People be like, yo, I'm gonna quit school and become a stripper. You know what it is
I'm
now?
about to.
No. No, wait, listen. Quit school, OnlyFans.
I'm already
True.
doing that.
But
Like,
OnlyFans could fund your schooling. To be
it
Yeah,
really
word.
can.
Word.
I know so many of my friends who are being funded right now through OnlyFans.
Exactly.
The
Top 1%.
Exactly.
I'm just not showing anything crazy.
Stay tuned.
Just stay tuned. This girl actually sent me her cheat sheet on how she
there's really a
monetizes.
cheat sheet?
Yeah, no, she went deep into it. She said
Well, it's always
she
a business.
made 20K her first month.
Damn.
That's kinda
And
weak,
didn't even
won't
show
lie.
a nipple.
Kind
Damn.
of
Without
weak.
showing a nipple?
Little weak.
You know what? Shut up.
Damn.
So
Weak.
aggy, yo.
No. Trust me.
Without
When-
showing a nipple, I
My-
think that's great.
My friend
will
made
accept that.
$600 in an hour.
It's a bit weak.
And did not put and not to did not
Boy, you
put.
fucking annoying.
Yo, all I gotta
She put a picture of her dog. A
Yeah.
picture of her dog.
all I gotta say is like
Just
my
monetize through your messages.
listen to the OnlyFans podcast. That's all I gotta say. Top 0.05%.
Interesting.
That's all I gotta say.
Interesting.
I was
Like,
trying to get my bag.
I can get into it, but I'm not trying to. You know.
have to listen to the previous episode.
Yep. Tune in.
Tune in to the
Make
Porn
sure you listen to this
Podcast
one.
OnlyFans episode
What number is it?
I have no idea.
popping up
Fucking
right
whack.
here on your screen.
I'm just the host, you guys. You love the content.
This is
I put it
your
out.
show, bruh.
Yeah.
You know how many episodes I have out? I think I have 39. I don't know.
See?
It's crazy. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
You're
You know what?
crazy.
Don't. Listen to the podcast. I hope you guys listen. I hope you guys love this one. Like, subscribe, follow Kamika, follow Only Lambs.
Badgyal.
Yeah.
Bad girl.
Gal. 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 Diam.
Gyal them. We're out.
All right, cool. I think I'm gonna end the podcast there. So, make sure you guys. Well, I mean, as a final note for inspiration to everyone who's chasing what they want, you have a foundation that you've started, and you're really pushing the mental health, and you really want to make sure that everyone is aware of what is going on in their life.
Mhm.
What is something you want to leave to someone struggling with that, or just struggling with something that they think no one else is struggling with? Because I'm assuming you, with your dad being schizophrenic, you didn't think, probably like, who else is struggling with this? Like, you probably never heard of that before when they got introduced to you, and you're like, yo, this is weird.
Reach out if you can. If you can, reach out to somebody, anybody, like, and just say your feelings. If you don't have nobody to reach out to, write how you feel down. Write it all down. When you're angry and you're saying, I hate this about myself, I don't like this, I can't do this, write it down. And then you look at it and you throw it away. And you throw it away out of your mind, and you throw it away out of your heart. And you look at yourself in the mirror, and you keep looking at yourself in the mirror until you love yourself again. And if you have to rock yourself into loving yourself, you don't have to be ashamed about that, because it's you and you at the end of the day. So if you can, reach out. If you can't, just keep looking into yourself to find the answers. Like, and when it's hard, you gotta find somebody. There has to be anybody to just say, I need help. I need somebody to help me, because that's the only way you need one hand to just reach out. So yeah, facts. Love. Always.
A vibe.
Mhm.
We like to toss some notes to the children, to the teens, to the younger,
Ayo,
the
you
youth.
fucking bitch. Just kidding. If you want it, go get it. I've always wanted to do something in fashion. I've always wanted to do music. I have held myself off for a while, and it's mainly because everyone's like pushing me to do it. They're like, why the fuck aren't you doing this? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, before COVID, I was just like doing 2 bartending jobs, just like making my bread, calling it a day. But now I'm like, I genuinely want to do something I like love, and I like love fashion, and I love music. So if you want to go get it, get that bread and leave.
It's facts. And you're never too old to chase.
Never.
Don't
Perfect
chase,
example.
replace.
Never too old.
24.
Never too
Should have
old.
done it a couple years ago, but it's still okay, honey bun. We're gonna blow up.
Exactly.
I'm
On the
going
way up. You're already up.
And that's, you know what? That's the advice. You know, you're never too old and you're never too young.
And that's what everyone says
Exactly.
too. You're never too like it.
And
I could have figured this out a couple years later and still would have done it.
Yeah.
Like
For sure.
I know it feels bad being old or when you think you're behind in your current age state of society, but
For sure.
at the end of the day, you're living your life.
your 20s are the most fundamental times of your life. You
Yeah, like,
never get to
throw
live it
away in
again.
the
So
30s.
fuck up. Literally fuck up. How
Literally.
else are you gonna learn? Fuck up, fuck around,
Yeah.
have fun,
And the
smile.
best thing,
Make your mistakes.
you
Yeah.
never think you're smart. Never think people are smart.
No
You're
one is
never the
above you, no
smartest
one is
person in
below
the
you.
room.
Mm.
Period.
Because once you,
Period. bro.
yeah, once you start thinking you're the smartest person,
Mm-mm.
failed, done. Good luck. Bye.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
Anyways,
Stay humble. Forward ever, backward never.
Exactly.
yeah, we're just like breaking into everyone's ego.
Anyways.
All right, guys, like, subscribe. Bye.